LPT, if you take a picture of your infant or toddler and you see white instead of red eye, run, don't walk to a pediatric optometrist. Using my cake day to get the word out. At 7 months, my daughter was diagnosed with retinoblastoma, a rare eye cancer. She is nearly 2 years old, and after 4 rounds of chemo, the tumor in her eye is dead. She's doing great. No sight in the eye, but they didn't have to remove the eye. My wife saw a Facebook post years ago saying to look out for a yellow or white reflection. The white reflection doesn't always mean cancer, but is never a good sign. If we hadn't heard that was a thing, we may have ignored it. So, the more you know. Edit, ophthalmologist. LPT, how to handle a disaster. My house burned down in the Oregon wildfires. Here are some tips I wish I would have known. It's been 3 weeks and I'm still kicking myself for how I reacted when the high winds and fire came through. The fires were caused and exacerbated by 40 to 50 miles per hour winds in our area. We had trees in front of our place that I was afraid were going to fall on us even before the fire, which leads me to the first point. 1. Pack early. Packing early will give you so much peace of mind. It will allow you to take time to get everything you need, want. I wanted to pack when it was just strong wind. I didn't because I am an idiot. 2. Pack anything that is even a little sentimental. This is where I was the dumbest. When we received the level 2 be ready prompt, I was annoyed. I thought that it was just an inconvenience. I thought that I would have to unpack in 12 hours and it was all stupid. Spoiler asterisk asterisk, it was not. I did take my most sentimental items, but I did not take all of them. Take them all 3. Run through the house with your camera for insurance. This is hoping you still have power at this point, but if you don't, use your cell phone's flashlight. This will help with insurance so much. I had hope that some things I left would still be there, they were not. Wildfires take everything. I've been back and the fire took everything. It's all rubble. Do not leave behind anything you need, want. Pack and take those things early. 4. If you don't know about it until the last minute, just run. Don't risk your life to grab some stuff. After all, it's just stuff. You won't be missing anything if you're gone. There will undoubtedly be more disasters due to climate change, and I hope that these tips will help keep you safe, secure, and happy. Good luck. Edit. Pink Nako Geek pointed out that I didn't mention pets. This is because pets are not something I would have even considered not bringing. It was instinctual. I will add a picture of her as soon as I figure out how. Edit. Here's my pupper. http://imager.com/gallery/me2sadu. Thank you so much for the awards. I didn't realize the magnitude of response when I posted, let alone the awards. I'm grateful to the Reddit community for letting me share my grief and giving me peace of mind knowing that others may take my experience and be more prepared in the unfortunate event of a disaster. LPT, if you're a college student frustrated with highlighters that bleed through pages in your textbooks and notes, get Bible-safe gel highlighters. Okay, hear me out. I'm a college student and a heavy-handed highlighter user. I am not religious, and in fact, I was raised completely agnostic. This isn't a trick to try and get anyone to buy into anything religious. It has pissed me off for years that all regular highlighters seem to bleed through the pages of my textbooks and notes. Every brand. Trendy pastel highlighters, Sharpie highlighters, Bic, Amazon brand, I've tried them all. They all bleed through the pages unless you're dealing with some especially thick paper, and some of them smear the ink. In my frustration, I found some highlighters online that are meant for use with the Bible, and all of the reviews raved that they don't smear ink and they don't bleed through the pages. I thought I'd give it a shot since all of the Bibles I've encountered have been printed on what appears to be ancient papyrus. I've tried a few brands now and the result is the same. I've tried just searching gel highlighters, but the best results are always specifically advertised as Bible highlighters. They're all kind of like crayons rather than markers, but they're just as vibrant as ink highlighters and they're not waxy or sticky like a crayon. Most importantly, they don't transfer, smear, or leak through pages of my notes and textbooks. They also seem like they'll last longer since they don't dry out. Just wanted to share this just to save some other students. LPT, use a simple number code to create and safely record virtually limitless unique passwords. I work in a job with endless applications and passwords that constantly need updating. Believe me when I say that if you have the same password for everything or simple variations of it, your access is not secure. If you work on different machines or work computers, you may not be able to use a password manager. You may also have work restrictions on writing down passwords, or consequences if unauthorized access occurs. Use a code to produce multiple unique passwords. Have a consistent base phrase followed by a coded phrase followed by a number of a certain character. For example, base phrase, purple, coded phrase, 1 to 12, months of the year i.e., January, character, 1 to 10%. Now you can type out a sheet with every application and just put a number code next to it. A 23 would mean the password, purple February %%. 51 would mean the password, purple May %. 116 would be purple November %, etc. It satisfies all requirements, and there's tons of combinations you could make with those codes and have all your passwords written down, but virtually indecipherable. It'd just look like a list of numbers with no discernible sequence. Furthermore, if frequent password changes are required, you have plenty to pick from without really changing your code. Edit. Addressing some of the comments. I know this isn't the most secure method from a cipher point of view. Using a password manager is ideal, but as I pointed out, some work consoles don't allow that. Also, a password manager is vulnerable at the master password level. The ideal use for this is in a work environment where you can't use a password manager and have approximately 10 to 15 applications that require password changes every 6 to 12 months. You'll inevitably end up writing out a list of passwords, and that list becomes the chief vulnerability. I didn't say use this exact code, it's very basic. You could use a more complex code, or even use something like a VBA script as a sort of bootleg encryption key. This is just a simple example to get the imagination juices flowing. LPT, no email or network privacy in the workplace. I work in IT, and I want to warn everyone that what you send, receive via email and via the network at your job has no expectation of privacy. Any IT staff person with the proper authorization can look at your emails, and you will never know it. Your company owns both the email server and the network, so they have the absolute legal right to monitor traffic on it. This includes not only your email messages, but the IP addresses, at least, of all the websites you visit. Please, don't risk your career by sending something prohibited by your company, racist, sexist, porn, etc., that you may have to explain later. I've seen and worked with blacklist appliances, which simply plug into a corporate network switch and automatically sends the boss an email whenever an employee visits a prohibited or questionable site. I've also seen managers install spyware to automatically grab screenshots of what you are working on, and it sends it back to them via email. I've personally seen information security staff take apart an employee's workstation, make a complete copy of the hard drive, then put it back again so it looks like nothing happened. Finally, IT forensics tools can recover data and files from hard drives which have been repartitioned and reformatted. The one I've used, Encase, can recover data from your hard drive going back to several previously installed operating systems. LPT, if somebody asks you a question and you don't know the answer, admit you don't know. Don't beat around the bush or guess, especially if you're an expert. Nobody should expect you to know everything, but people should be able to expect you to give the best answer you can. This is especially true of experts. If you're a doctor or an electrician or a pharmacist or a networking specialist, you're still allowed to say if you don't know. When you give somebody a beat around the bush answer, they will have less respect for any other information you give them and they will lose confidence in you. If you give them a guessed or bullshit answer, you may actually do them more harm than not answering at all. If you think you know, but you're not sure, that's fine too. Tell them with that caveat and, better yet, use your resources to either follow up or point them to somebody else who can. LPT, if you're going to lend a pen to somebody, give it without the top. People are far less likely to put it in their pockets. LPT, if you're struggling to fine-tune your wedding guest list, ask yourself which of these people would come to my funeral if I were to drop dead. Gain some clarity in choosing your guests by trying to determine who, out of all your friends and acquaintances, would likely miss you enough to attend your funeral. If you're still struggling, reverse the question to establish whether or not you would attend their funeral. If the answer is a firm no, in either case, bin 'em. LPT, want to be happier? Take one day of the week to just do nothing and wind down. You'll be much happier, and be a lot more focused the next day. LPT, don't try to be right, try to find out the truth. Whether you're citing in school, doing your job, or arguing in the comments.